Hello and welcome here to Barca Update, and welcome back to the channel. Today guys, we have a big video coming up for you because it is time to get your questions answered. And today we're gonna be going through the latest passing news. We're gonna be talking about Lamine Yamal, plenty of questions as well on Hansi Flick, and big news as well on Gavi. It is all coming up guys, so let's get to it. But there's been plenty of reaction to the video yesterday where we spoke about Luis Enrique's words on Xavi. I think the general feeling was that they were a bit harsh, a bit unnecessary in many ways, and I believe maybe Luis Enrique should focus more on PSG right now, who are not doing well at all. PSG's form is not good, and what a shame that is. But anyway, we must indeed move on to Lamine Yamal, and I think this is a really important topic here that we have to go into because obviously at the weekend he was subbed off against Alaves, and again there was question marks there about his reaction after being subbed off. Was he angry? Was he frustrated? Was some of that directed towards Hansi Flick? And again, here the media, they're looking for an opening. They are looking for an opportunity to lunge at Lamine Yamal, much like many of the defenders that he faces on a weekly basis. Here, the media wants something to really snap at him. But that's the thing. That wasn't even the case. His anger there at coming off was absolutely nothing to do with the decision that was made by Hansi Flick. And that's really important to acknowledge because this week, Yamal has come out in an interview and he's cleared it up. He said, no, the anger was directed at me. It was directed at myself because I was not happy with the way that I played against Alaves. I thought that I could have done better. And I demand a lot from myself there. I'm out openly saying I was only angry at myself, that anger was only directed towards me. He said Hansi Flick did ask me why I was like that, whether it was because of the substitution or whether it was because of my game, but I told him I could have helped the team more, and I told him that I would be 100% ready for the next game. So everything was cleared up between the two of them. There's absolutely no issue whatsoever. But what I also think it's important here to acknowledge, look at those standards from Lamine Yamal. Look at those high standards that he is demanding of himself. He's not making somebody else ask for more from him because he's already doing it. And just think about it right here. He is 17 years old. He's playing every week for Barcelona. He has become such a key player. By the way, one of the faces of Adidas, and with all of these things happening in his young career, he could easily think, oh well, I've made it, I'm done here, I'm doing so well for myself. But that is not what he's thinking. That is why I don't think we need to worry about Yamal here and about getting ahead of himself. This is very early on in his career. We don't need to worry about him because, as we've seen many times before, he has a very wise head on young shoulders and he's got good people around him. And I thought it was really interesting as well when he was asked about Hansi Flick's style of play. He said, again, we're having so much fun out there on the field, and he said, it shows out there when we're playing. He said, Flick gives us freedom. And it makes us very happy to keep adding 3 points at a time. But then he went on to say, it is true that physically, you got to push harder. The football is demanding. But when you press and recover the ball quickly, you actually control the game more. And he said it's true that the team is much more physical than last year. So Yamal, again, speaking about the enjoyment that he's having playing under Hansi Flick, the demands of the style, that is something the players know very well now. However, guys, one of those players who is going to come back in and who is going to give us an absolutely enormous boost is Gavi, because we have known that he has been moving closer and closer to returning now for quite some time. He's been working incredibly hard in training, pushing himself to the max every single day. And apparently even Hansi Flick had to jokingly tell Gavi, "You've got to just calm down a bit with the training. You're going absolutely crazy." But hey, all of that hard work is about to pay off, because AS have reported this morning that Gavi's return is on the way. There was actually a mini match in training, apparently, and Gavi in that match completed 45 minutes of it. And by the way, that was played at high intensity. So he had genuine, real minutes under his belt there in that mini match in training. And he is really feeling well right now. Like, he can be involved right after the international break for the first game back against Sevilla. He is feeling better. He believes that he can return in that game. I cannot believe it, guys. Absolutely amazing to see him on the verge. We have waited literally a year for this to happen. We have all wanted him back so badly. He's a player who we can all connect with. And is he about to return? Because obviously we're going to build up his minutes very slowly, like we're seeing right now with Frankie, and like we saw with Ansu Fati as well. It's going to take time to start games, but if you think about it right now, if he can play some minutes there against Sevilla, make his return, you know, we're going to see what kind of impact he can have in that game. Could he then be involved in some capacity off the bench against Bayern, against Real Madrid in El Clasico? And of course in his early days, but I just don't expect him to come back in and play sort of half-heartedly, to take things easy when he's on the field. If Gavi is coming back, if Gavi is going to be on the field, he is playing at 100%, because he can't do anything else. Do not expect him here to take things lightly, to take things slowly. If he's back, if he's ready to return, we are gonna see him at his maximum. And could he be involved in these absolutely massive games to come? Well, it's an exciting time, and we all cannot wait to see him back. So those there, guys, were some of your questions that have been answered today. I hope that you're all enjoying the videos, even though we got a little bit to wait before Barca return. But we will be building up to those very big games to come. Do not worry about that. Thank you indeed here for joining me today. Please do let me know all of your opinions in the comments down below. And I will see you all very, very soon.